Is youth sex a risk? Culture, education, media, and even the government tell our youth that they have the right to be sexually active as long as they do so consensually and use a condom. Is the issue of youth sex really that simple? In this video, we are going to examine the facts so that youth are informed and parents and youth leaders are better equipped to guide their children and their youth. Hi, I'm Phil from Peace Education Services. For more than 20 years, we have been equipping parents and guiding youth in healthy sexuality. Welcome to the video series, Targeting Success for Youth. In the introductory video, we briefly addressed 4 questions around the issue of teen sex. In this and the next video, we will be addressing the question, is youth sex a risk? When we think of youth sex, we immediately think of the physical consequences, pregnancy and sexually transmitted infection. But does early sexual activity only affect physically? Absolutely not. There are many other areas of potential risk, including mental, emotional, and relational health, as well as academic and economic well-being. In this video, we will examine the other risks. The physical risks will be addressed in the next video. The information presented has been well researched. Through the presentation, you will see footnote numbers beside the facts. At the end of the presentation, there are 5 pages of footnotes. So, is youth sex a risk? The research proves that sexually active youth are less attached to their parents' school and faith. They are more likely to run away. They have early failed relationships that often sets up a pattern for failed relationships in adulthood, and they have more lifetime sexual partners. There is great concern today with youth and depression, and the research shows that single youth not in relationships are the least depressed. Youth in committed relationships have moderate levels of depression, and youth who are sexually active and in hookup relationships report the greatest levels of depression. Why is this? Well, our bodies are designed so that when we engage in sexual relationships, the pituitary gland in the brain releases oxytocin in women and vasopressin in men. These hormones cause us to feel emotionally connected and bonded to the other person. When youth break up their relationships, feelings of depression increase, especially for the partner who has become emotionally attached. Youth who begin having sexual relations early in their teen years will have more bond and break relationships, resulting in increased depression. When it comes to educational achievement and lifetime economics, research proves that there is a connection between youth sex and lower educational achievement, even if the child does not become pregnant. Why does this happen? Well, it is often explained that youth involved in relationships are more focused on the relationship and the stresses and have less time to focus on school. Research also demonstrates that early youth sex contributes to reduced financial security. Success sequencing helps us to understand this. The research tells us that there are 3 things that youth need to accomplish in a given order to avoid poverty. First, they need to focus on school and graduate. And generally, youth who are not sexually active are better able to focus on school. Second, they need to get a job and begin earning an income. Then third, they need to marry before having children. The data shows that if these goals are accomplished in that order, individuals have a less than 3% chance of ever ending up in poverty. However, if none of these are followed in that order, 53% of individuals will end up in poverty. When it comes to youth sex and crime, sexually engaged youth are more likely to engage in underage smoking, drinking, and the use of drugs. Sexually engaged youth have an increased risk of sexual abuse and are more likely to be sex trafficked. When it comes to sex trafficking, many people think that most sex trafficking involves women brought in from other countries. but 84% of trafficked girls in Canada are Canadian girls aged 13 to 24. It's most disturbing to note that the average age of recruitment into sex trafficking in Canada is only 13 years of age. A recent study found that 27% of all convicted cases of sex trafficking in Canada involve minor youth under the age of 17. Parents, it is most important to know that many of these underage trafficking situations don't take place on the street with a pimp. Many involve high school boyfriends who are selling their girlfriends. So, what do teens want? What are their lifelong relational goals? When surveyed, most youth indicate that they desire to one day be in a lifelong committed married relationship. Unfortunately, the research shows that people involved in premarital sex have reduced satisfaction in marriage and are more likely to divorce. Why is this? Well, as mentioned earlier, more happens during sex than just a momentary experience of pleasure. When we are intimate, chemicals are released in our brains that bond us together. However, when we engage in repeated bond and break relationships, we damage our capacity to bond strongly to the next person. It's similar to a piece of sticky tape. The first time you apply it to a surface, it bonds strongly. But if you take it off and apply it to another surface, it's less adhesive. Keep doing that, and it's barely sticky at all. Alternatively, though, those who wait have significantly higher relationship satisfaction, better communication patterns, less divorce, and better sex. Our kids need to know this. So, in summary, when it comes to the other risks, there are numerous negative psychological, social, relational, academic, and economic consequences. These risks can negatively impact life goal achievement. It's important to note that a condom does not prevent these consequences. Alternatively, though, the research shows the exact opposite for youth who avoid non-marital sex. So, is youth sex a risk? Yes, it is. As parents and youth leaders, it is our responsibility to communicate with our children and youth the truth about the risks. Thank you for watching video 2 in the series. The next video examines the possible physical risks. If this information has been helpful, please click the like button and subscribe to the channel. If you or your teen are experiencing challenges around this issue, send us an email. I'm sure that many parents will share the same concern, and perhaps we could develop a resource to help. I look forward to connecting in the next video. Take care, and God bless.